He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest wide receiver of all time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is AFR episode 301. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I am the one you love to hate because I'm always right, Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other co-host, Junebug Spade.
And as Steve Miller used to say of me, he's a smoker, he's a joker, he's a midnight toker. But most of you all know me as G-Money.
Hey, look at that. I like it.
Nice. And our special guest this week, we've got Mr. Grant Temple. Grant, what's going on?
Not too much, fellas. I really appreciate you guys having me on here. And here in episode 301, I'm like, man, that's no small feat. That's a lot of episodes to put in. So I'm honored to be a part of it.
It's a lot of trial and error. That's exactly what it is. So we're happy to have you here. We're happy to talk football. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to come talk a bunch of nonsense with us tonight. So let's get the
Looking
show
forward to it.
off to a good start by, of course, taking a cheers to episode 301.
Episode 301.
I'm going to go ahead and get it back in focus there. That's it.
Oh, there goes my camera right on cue. It'll be back in just a second.
All right, it's time. Here's to the hours that I will not be sober over the next 4 days will be a lot more than the hours. Or will be a lot less than the hours that I am sober.
Okay. Are you sober now? Is sober in a room with us?
No, so sober left a while ago.
Sober can hear us. Move
Sober is driving up the Delaware right now on I-95.
And Delaware is awesome. Don't knock it till you try, bro. I'm telling you.
They call it the small wonder. Is the little slogan we have attached to it. So next time you're in the area, hit me up.
It's what they called Nestor in high school too. But
he ain't here to defend himself. He's not here to defend himself.
That's the whole point.
That's what happens when you miss a show.
That's exactly what happens.
Start catching strays.
Nestor, if you're in the room, type in the chat. Yeah, we've got a good show planned for you guys today. We have an NFC East breakdown. Going to predict all the records of the teams in that fantastic division. Then we've got some news to get into in the second half of the show. We flipped things around for you guys. We did the news second, not first this time. Just keep you on your toes. So we've got news involving Najee Harris, if y'all remember him. We've got Spoon's extension. We have got some Kawhi Leonard talk. And then we will, of course, get into what's up with that for the week. So there's always something making us upset. So let's start off with the NFC East predictions. We're going to hop right into everyone's favorite division. I always feel like this is the one that has the most drama out of all of the divisions. There is one that always produces headlines more than the rest. And it's just every year, there's always something. So, like I have been these past few years, I'm going to show the odds of each team's, odds to win the division. And this is according to Hard Rock. Eagles leading the charge at plus 125, Cowboys plus 210, Commanders plus 500, and Giants plus 550. So bit of a gap in between second and the rest of the teams there. So, but hey, if anyone wants to put any money down on their team to win this division, now's the time to do it before a snap has been played. So make your bets. Anyway, let's start off with, we're going to go with Philly first because we always go in the order in which the division finished the previous year. So we're going to start off with the Eagles, and then we will end things with the Giants. But we'll go through and just give a record prediction. If you want to, obviously give a reason why, but if you want to go into any of the specific games that you've got and, you know, if anything stands out to you, you can take it from there. But we're going to start off with Grant since he's our guest and our resident Eagles fan for the night. So very curious to see, what have you got your birds doing, Grant?
It's going to be an interesting year. They are completely changing up their offense. New offensive coordinator again. They're changing to like a West Coast style offense apparently. First few days of training camp, the beat reporters in the area have said that, you know, there's been some growing pains for the offense. Apparently the defense didn't look too good at the joint practice today with the Patriots. So the training camp hasn't looked amazing yet, but they still have a good roster. They're strong on both lines. I'm going to give them 12 wins. I say 12-5, I think is where they'll land. I anticipate their offense taking a little bit of time to actually click because they don't believe in playing preseason games. So they're going to have a brand new offense. They don't play any preseason games with their starters. So the first few weeks might be a little rough offense-wise. Hope our defense can keep us in it, not get behind. I think if we do that, it'll even out throughout the year. I say 12-5 is what I'm going to go with. Win the division.
12-5. Okay, that was a pretty level-headed take, and I don't think you were being too homer with that. So 12-5 it is. G Money, go ahead.
I have them at 11-6. So, you know, we'll see how that part goes. But Saquon, I mean, if you use Saquon correctly, you know, Jalen Hurts can sit back there and won't have to throw as much. And he doesn't throw as much anyway. I've read enough BS in social media about, you know, him not being a good quarterback. I'm like, you know, he's been to the Super Bowl 3 times. He's won a Super Bowl. I mean, there are probably 30 teams out there that would take him as their starting quarterback. So he's got to be, yeah, it's not like he's, maybe, I'm trying to think of a quarterback recently. Nick Foles, for that matter. Nick Foles was like a flash in the pan. I mean, he had his moment, but after that moment was gone, so was he. So, yeah. And I think that defense is going to be fine. I don't see an issue with their defense. Though I think Reek Wallen is going to give them, at times, great joy, and then someone's going to want to take a hit out on him.
So 11-6 from G Money. I have got this team going 10-7. That's where I'm at with the Eagles right now. They've got a pretty interesting schedule. I see Roger Goodell wanted to slip the Rams in there again because it was such cinema last year. So that should also be a good game. I don't see why not, especially because the Rams are obviously even better. But Chicago, they've got Chicago early on, so at least they don't have to go there in the colder months of the year. That should be a good game. Really, there's like week 3, 4, 5 are like should all be pretty good games. Although the Jags in London, they always seem to shit the bed in London, so we'll see about that. But the Jaguars do, that is. But yeah, the Eagles, I think they will be just fine. I do think 10 wins is enough to win this division. I think they are ready to be done with the AJ Brown's drama, even though the media is keeping it around. And still, what is AJ doing? And what is Devontae Smith doing? Jalen Hurts? It's like, all right, can we please stop? Like, he's not here anymore. We can move on now. But hopefully Mekhi Lemon is able to get healthy quick because obviously he's a very key part of what this offense should be, at least I would imagine. But as long as he does come back healthy, which is what I'm kind of banking on, I think this offense will be just fine. It's just going to be a matter of what is the new point of drama going to be this year, because it's always going to be something. But yeah, schedule-wise, I think they've got a just fine schedule. And the latter months too, or like the last month, Seattle, Houston, San Francisco, that's going to be a very interesting time of year for them as well. But 10 wins, 7 losses from me. June.
Well, I got the Eagles going 1-16.
Hey, shut up.
A Cowboys fan or something?
Hey, he's a Cowboys fan.
No, I'm playing. I would never do that. The Eagles are too great of a franchise to ever fall that low. That's just no. I got the Eagles at 11-6. I got them at 11-6 because there are some key losses here. We're talking not just AJ Brown. We're talking about Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, and Reed Blankenship. Those were all 3 starters on the defense last year. And so it's going to be what they can do to really build that defense back up is to get, because again, losing 3 starters on defense is a big deal. No matter how anybody tries to say it, it's a big deal. So, and I think that's why they're having a little bit of growing pains in training camp and things are going on in training camp. But I think they'll be just fine. Eagles are always going to be right there. I mean, they've been pretty much a top team ever since 2017. They've been always in there, always been in the mix, So I put them at 11-6. If they want to get past that, they got to get Saquon Barkley back to his form of 2 years ago. And they got to find a way with new offensive coordinator. You got to find a way to get him back into that form if they want to get back to where they were as the best team in the NFL. Getting him back to 2,000 yards. Maybe I don't think he's ever going to rush for 2,000 yards again, but he needs to be around the high 1,800, 16 to 1,800 consistently. And so that takes a lot more pressure off of Jalen Hurts because A.J. Brown is going to be missed. I mean, he was a big part of the offense. He's been there since, they've been going to Super Bowls last few years. So he's going to be missed. But I got the Eagles at 11-6.
All right. 11-6 from June. Malin.
Oh. All right. Listen, this Philly team is interesting to me. They're one of the ones that I've just been studying the most. First of all, new offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much that's going to matter because hasn't Jalen Hurts had a different offensive coordinator since his junior year in college? I think he's had a new offensive coordinator every single year. That he's been in the pros. And when he went from Alabama to Oklahoma, I think he's always had someone new, like always a new system to learn. And he does pretty good winning games. When I look at quarterback room, though, I mean, I do think that Jalen Hurts has a lot to prove because he doesn't have any more guaranteed money. I don't think it's just necessarily like a lock that he's always going to be the franchise quarterback there. He's going to have to prove something because if Philly is anything, they are consistent to where they really don't give a shit who you are. Like if you're not producing, you're gone. Like Carson Wentz. Oh yeah, he had that injury. You were an MVP candidate. Won a Super Bowl with Foles. You're kind of being whiny. Okay, we'll ship you out. Got rid of Doug Peterson. 3 years after winning a Super Bowl? I mean, like they're just like, yeah, we don't care. I do think it's interesting that they got the Amish rifle back up. Until I was looking at it a few days ago, I was like, oh damn, Andy Dalton, first of all, still in the league. And now he's firing musket shots in Philly. That's fucking crazy. So you got him. I actually I might be the minority on this. I think the Eagles would be best if Saquon Barkley runs for 1,300 yards this year. 11 to 1,300 yards. Why? Because I like the fact that they got Tank Bigsby as their backup running back. Give him, if the Eagles are up big, give him some carries. Spell Saquon a little bit. Don't murder him throughout the entire regular season. He's 2 years older than what he was when he ripped off 2,000 yards. Eagles are thinking Super Bowl. Don't kill yourself trying to get this playoff spot by running him regular. Tank Bigsby, he was good in Jacksonville. Yeah, so I like him as a backup. And when I talk about the wide receiver core, if I were to ask you guys if I say AJ Brown and I say who would be somebody like AJ Brown in the NFL, big-bodied wide receiver, kind of a diva, who would you think that person is? Come on, G Money.
Currently,
I'm sorry, I was sleeping there. Stephon Diggs. I'd also go with Tyrese Hill. Though Tyrese Hill isn't as big as AJ.
Not Hill. I'm thinking DK Metcalf.
Oh, DK.
Both huge physical specimens, can drive you crazy with some of the stuff they do. Super talented, right? I'm looking at Devontae Smith, and I'm like, what keeps him from having not quite the year that JSN had this year? Okay. But I believe that Devontae Smith and JSN are similar builds. I don't think he's going to get the production that JSN gets. But I think Devontae Smith is going to shine in the absence of AJ Brown. I think Dontavian Wicks, which that's impressive that I said that right. And I know I said it right because I had Apple help me earlier to make sure I said it right. And like you said, Mekhi Lemon, like I really do think that wide receiver core, I think it's going to be addition by subtraction without Brown there. I really do. You get rid of the headache, you get rid of a little bit of a controversy. Now I say that being one of those people, when we got rid of DK Metcalf last year, G Money and I were talking all the time. We were like, man, is JSN going to be able to step up? Is he going to be able to do? I mean, we're talking about a Heisman winner, national champion. Devontae Smith knows how to play ball. I believe that he's more than capable of being wide receiver one for that team. Defense, I think, is going to be fine. I say all that to say this. I got him at 12 wins. In spite of Sirianni, I got him at 12 wins. I think when I look at their schedule, they got two 4-week stretches that are interesting to me. One starts in September 28th through October 18th, when you face the Bears, the Rams, Jacksonville, Carolina. I left out Dallas on purpose. Don't worry about it, June. I think that 4-game stretch, you're going against 4 playoff teams from last year. Carolina can be sneaky good once you get done with the Bears, the Rams, and Jacksonville. Carolina can sneak up on you on that 4th game. And then, like you said earlier, you go into Indy, Seattle, Houston, San Francisco, and that could be a tough little game stretch. And you're getting Dallas right after and right before both of those 4-game stretches. So I got him at 12 wins. Interesting team. I still don't think you're going to do shit in the playoffs. But I think they're good enough to make some noise in the regular season.
That's honest.
That's honest.
You mentioned Nick Sirianni. Grant, I wanted to ask you before we move on from this team.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Coach Sirianni?
I like him, honestly. I think a lot of people have the question, like, what does this guy do? Because he doesn't call plays. They kind of label it the CEO type of coach, where he's just kind of managing the team as a whole. But the guys like him, like the people on the team like him. They buy into it. one little, I guess, blemish you could say on it, him being kind of the culture guy and leading a good locker room, is the whole AJ Brown situation and how it never really got resolved. I agree that it's addition by subtraction at this point with him, as great as he was talent-wise, especially here in the Philly area and the media around here. I mean, it was a daily conversation for the last, 3 years. So, that can be a little bit of a blemish on the whole culture thing that Sirianni kind of puts his, kind of claim stake to. So I like him though. The combination, it's weird. Him and Jalen, both of them are not your prototypical quarterback and coach that would have right now the second best winning percentage in like history together. Maybe they're in like the top 3. So it's not common the way they do things, but it works. So yeah, I mean, overall, I like him. He can be fiery. There's things he's done in the past that has been annoying. Some of the stuff around press conferences. I think there was a couple years ago, he was in hot water around the area, and he like brought his kids up for a press conference one time, and everyone's like, man, you are ducking smoke bringing your kids up on this press conference right now so you don't get pressed on what you're doing. So there's been a few things like that, but overall, yeah, I mean, Howie puts a good roster behind him, but I mean, the results are the results. So I'm a fan. I think we should keep him and Jalen for a little bit here until you can show me someone else who's going to be able to win at the level they do.
One quick follow-up for the Eagles fan here. What type of season would it take for them to fire Sirianni after this year? Miss the playoffs, not win a playoff game? Because it seems like he's on the hot seat.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, look, the reality is, as an Eagles coach, you're on the hot seat every single year. I think it would take either a complete collapse, which I don't see happening, where it's like you have a losing season, you miss the playoffs. Like, I don't see it going that direction, but I could see a scenario where you win 9 or 10 games, you kind of sneak into the playoffs, you have an early exit. The offense never really gets like figured out or going. Vic Fangio definitely runs the defense, and that's going to be good no matter what. The offense is the big question here, and it's interesting because I know you were saying Jalen has had different offensive coordinators and different coaches almost every year and learning a new system. Still, though, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been a new offensive coordinator, but it's been the same offense. They kept it very vanilla. Like, this is a new style of offense that he's running. So all of that to be said, what I think it would take is either a complete collapse or an early playoff bounce, and the offense looked kind of like it did last year, and it struggles. I think that's what it would take for him to, really be on the hot seat, and then consider whether they're going to keep both Sirianni and Hurts or not. So in a way, which is crazy to think about, it's a prove it year for both of them.
You know what I think is funny about his answer, Jalen? Is that the Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls in 10 years. Their head coaches are always on the hot seat. Cowboys ain't won shit in 35 years. Head coach is never on the fucking hot seat. Never on the hot seat.
We just fired a coach who went 12-5 3 straight years. What are you talking about?
Did you go to the AFC Championship game? Shut up, clown. Come on, shit.
I'm not gonna sit here and take this all night. By the way, okay. We didn't hear shit for 30 years from Seattle Seahawks fans. They got one good player in their history. His name is Steve Largent, a slow white guy with big hands. That's y'all best player in y'all history. Be quiet.
Who's a better wide receiver than any Cowboy player you've ever had?
What'd you say?
Michael Irvin's having a heart attack right now.
What did you just say?
True. Hey, stats back it up.
No,
stats back it up.
What's it?
We about numbers.
Go ahead, G Money. Go ahead, G Money. Or Grant.
What is G Money talking about?
We're moving on next.
Right into speaking of the Cowboys.
We're moving on next.
We're gonna roll right into
Cowboys.
Speaking of them boys.
Yes.
Speaking of them boys,
we're heading to Dallas on this one. Grant, what have you got the Cowboys doing?
So the Cowboys are interesting to me. Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I enjoy watching them lose in big moments and have done that. But it is undeniable that they're complicated to figure out. Seemingly, They always have a good roster. They draft very well. Like, you look at it and they should always be good, yet they just haven't gotten over the hump. So maybe another new coach coming in. Their offense is very good. I think Dak can obviously put up big numbers. He can win a lot of games. They got great wide receivers. So I'm not too sure about their defense. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I would say that I'm just not fully educated on what they're going to look like this year, but I would say they're 9 or 10 wins. I would say around there. So I'll go with 9-8 for the Cowboys. I think they maybe squeak in as a wild card. To tell you the truth, I probably wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. Like, if they get in and they've got that offense that can, win you games in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with 9-8 on the Cowboys.
All right, 9-8. G Money.
Well, I obviously was drunk when I was doing this. I have them 12-5, and their offense is good, and their offense can win them games. The defense, a little sus, but I think that a little. I mean, the D line's good. The fact they signed Von Miller, and Von Miller is not going to start. He's going to be behind Rashad Gary, and they'll rotate them. They'll do like what Seattle does. They'll rotate them. I mean, when we signed Dante Fowler, he wasn't going to start. He was going to be a rotational piece. And that's what you do. You build rotational pieces. I can see them winning 12 games. I can see them winning 12 games, but then the question comes, what do they do when they go to the playoffs? Because inevitably, one reason or another, either the offense just totally collapses and forgets what it's doing, or the defense, quite frankly, does not show up. So it's not what they do in the regular season. It's like when they get to the playoffs, what exactly are they? Who are they going to be? Are they going to be those 12-5 teams that went to the playoffs and that got bounced because either the offense just totally collapsed or the defense just never showed up?
All right. 12 wins from G Money. I've got the same thing as Grant. I've got them winning 9 games this year. They've always got, like Grant was saying, you look at the roster, it's like there's a lot of good pieces here. It's just a matter of, can they put them together? Can the injuries stay away from them? Because it's always something with them every year where they end up tripping and falling in a just major way at some point in the season. They do have a Brazil game against the Ravens in week 3, which sounds like some weird metaverse sentence right there. They've got the Packers in here, which I'm assuming that's a Sunday night game because that's gonna be big. But they've got the Rams later in the year. They've got Seattle later in the year. But not too many difficult games. Like they can be a fringe double-digit win team this year. But I think they really got to get the defense down, because if their defense looks what it looked like last year, forget the double digits. Y'all are going to have a very similar season to that. Offense is fine. I think as long as they just stay healthy, they've got no worries offensively. But defensively, that's what they've got to get down. If they can do that, I think they can be right at that 9-10 win mark. So, yeah, I'm going 9-8. June.
Well, I got the same as G Money. They're going 12-5, and the reason why I got that is because one of the reasons is because if you look at the last 2 seasons coming into the Cowboys, we had a lot of drama. What drove us down. We had the McCarthy thing coming into this, a couple of seasons ago where he was on the hot seat. And then, of course, we get to the regular season, injuries killed it, and McCarthy is gone. And then last season, we had the Micah Parsons thing. They took up the whole preseason and the beginning of the season. So there was a lot of drama surrounded with the Cowboys. This year, you don't have that with the Cowboys. You don't have the drama. You don't have the Cowboys in the news. I mean, you had the Von Miller thing, but it's just Von Miller,
Yeah.
And the media tried to spin the George Pickens thing, saying, "Oh my God, the Cowboys aren't signing him," and George Pickens shut that down himself, saying, "I'm not worried about it. I know I'm going to get paid." So they've done a good job of staying out of the media spotlight. And so that's one thing that they haven't had the last couple of preseasons is coming into the season quietly, just coming in. And with the offensive fine, I'm with you 100%. As long as our offensive line, even though on my podcast, I did point out that running game in the red zone is what really killed us last year in certain aspects because we was kicking field goals instead of putting touchdowns in. So that's one of the things that I'm looking for in training camp for this team to do. You got that young Christian Parker coming in, a guy who learned from the Eagles. The Eagles great. He's coming in, he's trying to bring that style in that the Eagles have, trying to mimic, he's gonna have his own style because that's but he's trying to bring in that style that he learned that's working. And I think that's a big thing. You're giving this young guy opportunity. And as we've seen in the NFL, as coordinators go, the youth of the coordinators are taking over. I mean, you think about Kellen Moore going to the Eagles, being that youthful offensive coordinator, taking the Eagles in to win a Super Bowl, and then getting his own team. You're seeing that with these young guys. Seattle has a young guy, Chicago. You look at the Rams when they first got their head coach. He was very young. It's that young coordinator that's coming in to the NFL that's making a difference on teams. And I look at Christian Parker on the defense that way, and he has a style. He has guys that he wants, the Cowboys were going to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. And people didn't know he was going to re-sign Jadeveon, and they said no because he doesn't fit his style. He said he's not a guy who fits my style. So that tells you that they have respect for this young man and what he's doing. And we have that defense has totally changed. I still think the back end, I think our corners are kind of sus. I think that's where we're going to be weakest at. And so if we do make the playoffs, we can get to that 12-5 mark, and we do make the playoffs, I think that's going to be something to watch in the play. Going to be something to watch for. Is how sus is our cornerbacks? Can the cornerbacks keep up? Because you're going to be playing the best of the best when it comes in the playoffs, as far as the wide receivers go. So that's going to be the determining factor on that. So I think that's why they focused on the defensive line and they focused on the linebacker aspect, trying to get to the quarterback and taking some pressure off the back end. If you get to the quarterback and you put pressure on the quarterback, you can save your defensive backs a lot of headache back there. And it's the little things that the penalties, the Cowboys penalties from last year on defense, lots of penalties. We kept a lot of drives alive. We kept the drives alive, especially in that Green Bay game. We could have won that Green Bay game, but guess what? We kept the drive alive. So those are some things that, hopefully Christian Parker can come in. He's learned from one of the best, if not the best in the league. He's learned from one of the best of how to do that. So we're going to see what he learned, and he's going to be under the microscope all season long. Again, the offense is going to be fine. So we'll see what happens, but I do have him at 12-5.
12-5. Maitland.
Galen, you want to know when I stopped listening to everything that June was saying? The moment that he gave Kellen Moore flowers, are talking about young coordinators going to Philly helping win the Super Bowl. That man wanted him fired from Dallas every week. He was the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. And was the reason why he was saying that Philly wouldn't win the Super Bowl because they were going to find out, they were going to learn. Because the moment you gave him flowers, you lost all credibility for the entire argument. The simple fact of the matter is, you had the worst defense last year. Worst defense. You gave a 511 points. Number 32. If there were 33 teams you'd be 33. If Vanderbilt was in the NFL, you would have a worse defense than Vanderbilt. Listen, I got them going 8-9. I was gonna be real. 8-9. Great offense, shit defense. Your offense would better if you guys would realize that Pickens is better than CeeDee Lamb and put him at wide receiver 1. But y'all ain't doing that.
He's not better than CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, he's not. Look at the stats last year, clown.
That's
The stats clearly show who's better. He's got a bigger neck, and he's gonna get a bigger payday. Listen, Prescott is great. I love your running back, honestly. If I'm being honest, the Von Miller pickup. I mean, to me, it looks like you signed Jave Evans Senior's from what was that show? It's called Good Days back in the day, back in the 70s.
Good times.
Talking good times.
Good times. Jave Evans Senior. That's what Von Miller
James
looks like
Evans.
right now. Looks like James Evans Senior is what it looks like right now to this day. That is him. You got a sitcom dad on your defense. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. But offense is good. Javonte Williams. Love him. He's great. He had almost 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. I think he could do more. I think less is more with Dak Prescott this year because your offense is going to have to control the clock. The explosiveness of your offense is the downfall to your overall team success because you're putting your defense out on the field so goddamn often. And they're just atrocious. They're not good. Secondary shit. Linebacker shit. Safety shit. E-Money said the one thing you guys got going for defensive line. But I do think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I used to have him as top 5, now he's top 10. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, that is a good wide receiver combo. Ferguson, not bad, is a tight end. I think he's better at scoring hot girlfriends than he is scoring touchdowns, but we'll go from that. But I just have him at 8-9 because I don't believe Brian Schottenheimer is that guy that's going to lead you guys to like a 12-win season. I just don't see it. Like, you guys are in practice, like you guys are having fist fights with the Saints in practice. What the fuck are y'all doing fighting the Saints?
Every fight's the team that they have.
It's the talking about Saints. Why are you going blows with the Saints? Like, why? How does Mardi Gras make you that angry? Well, they shouldn't be rivals. Because you always tout that 5 Super Bowls. They shouldn't be rivals at all.
They're border rivalries.
Border rival my ass. So no, I got them at 8-9. Could they win? Could they end up winning, having more wins? Of course. But I'm just not a believer in the defense. If the defense was just average, I could put him at like 11 wins. But I think that's going to be your Achilles heel all year. You're going to have to put up a shit ton of points. And Dak is not always the most clutch. He's not always going to have Russell Wilson on the other side of the ball when you need to put up 40 points to win a ball game. So I got the Cowboys at 8-9.
He's not clutch. Didn't he come back from 21 points down to the Eagles last year and win the game?
Has he been to
but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Has he been to an NFC championship game?
Go ahead, Jalen. Let's move on to the next
Jalen
team.
Hurts and Sam Darnold have won an NFC championship game. Dak hasn't even been to one.
Let's roll into the next team here, which is Washington. Grant, go ahead with the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders are an interesting one after kind of going on that run a couple years ago and then getting absolutely smoked by the Eagles in the NFC Championship. Going into the next year was like, all right, this team kind of surprised us all. What do they got in store? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they went like 5-12 last year. I know they had some injuries, so I'm interested to see what Jaden Daniels can bounce back and do. I can't tell which direction that's really going to go with him. Obviously, he's got a ton of talent. He had, a really good year a couple years ago. They, kind of had a regression last year, obviously. But, looking at their roster, they got Stephon Diggs. I know he's a little past his prime, but Terry McLaurin's pretty good. So they're an interesting one. As far as them being in a good division, I think, with the Eagles, with the Cowboys, I think they're going to struggle to win in division games. And looking at their schedule, even outside of the division, they're running into the Rams. Really the same schedule as a lot of the other teams that we're covering tonight. So all of that to be said, I would give them 6 wins. I guess it's 6-11 is what I'm gonna peg them at. But I think they can make some strides, this year. I think if Jaden Daniels plays well, they can continue to build on that. But I don't see this being a year where they really kind of turn a corner and have a double-digit win season. I think they'll fall around the 6 mark.
All right, 6 wins. G Money.
Yeah, I've been saying 6-11. And one of the reasons, is that Larry Tunsil's out for the season. You lose your starting left tackle.
Yeah.
That's hard to replace. And we've all had O-line issues, and we know how hard it is when one of your starting O-linemen go down and you have to replace that person. So, yep, I'm not even going to go into detail. 6-11, no starting left tackle.
I've got to win in 8 games this year, and all of that is just complete my just belief in Jaden Daniels. It's really it. There's nothing else to give this much optimism to this team. It's great that they have Diggs now at the wide receiver position, but like G Money said, being down a tackle like that is going to be very rough for them, and it also does not bode well for Jaden Daniels. But I really like him. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, and what I saw from him that rookie year, I'm like, if he could just get back to like 70% of that, I think that they are a fantastic team, and he's good enough to get them out of a lot of sticky situations. So, I've got them at 8 wins. Like Grant just said, the schedules are pretty similar here, but there's quite a few cupcake teams in their schedule, like Tennessee, Arizona, Atlanta. So obviously the Giants, and depending on where Joe Burrow is at come week 11, that could be another cupcake one. So, I've got to win in 8 games. June.
Yeah. I talked about with the Cowboys being quiet on the offseason, and it's a total opposite for Jaden Daniels, because living up here in D.C., you hear it even more. With this whole LSU thing, it's been distracting. And even in their camp, again, I live in this area, so I see all the clips and everything. And it's been distracting for them. This is something that you shouldn't do or let your team do. Your PR team, which, I mean, his mother, okay? Sorry, Miss Jackson, okay? You've got to be quiet in these situations. You got a young quarterback, and it affects him. Look what happened to Vince Young. Do people understand what happened to Vince Young? His family destroyed his life and destroyed his football life. You have to keep it quiet for young quarterbacks in these type of situations. And right now, his mother and his family did not do him any favors. And I think it's going to affect a little bit of play on the field. And yes, when I saw, with Larry Tunsil being out, now they're trying to bring up, and they're going to be bringing more left tackles in the camp because, and I heard today on the radio that they're going to be trying out other left tackles. They're going to wait to see who gets cut. They're going to be calling some guys up in the Canadian League because they just don't know what they have. And they already had a suspect offensive line anyway. And you had a one constant on there, and now it's gone. So and I talked about Jaden Daniels, good player, but I think it's going to be a little bit of regression for him for the next couple of years until they can build a better team around. Getting Stephon Diggs is great, but if you don't have an offensive line to protect him, he's not going to have the time to get the ball to the man. So I got the Commanders at 4-13.
Oh,
And that's only because I just believe with the drama and with them still trying to piece together what they are as a team, I think it's just going to be a steep curve for them for the next couple of years.
just so I'm clear, you said four wins and 13
4 wins.
losses.
And 13 losses.
Yikes. Malin, go ahead.
Now, keep in mind, like Jalen, I did all my picks at the same time. I don't get to reflect on things that have happened since we made these picks, which I think was in like early July, like the very beginning of July, right? I think when we did all this. So yeah, I had Washington at 9-8. And I can't move off that because it would make every other thing else suspect on all my picks. Now, a couple things have happened since then. You lost Tunsil. I'm not the biggest fan that your starting left tackle is a rookie out of TCU. That's worrisome to me. Your starting running back is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Two things wrong with that. First of all, you're a 7th round draft pick. You were a 0-star recruit. You played ball at Alabama, but not Alabama Crimson Tide. You played ball at Alabama State. I think it's Hawkeyes. The fact that you got 3 names lets me think that your dad left for milk and never came back. He's got some family problems.
Boy, what the hell?
So, like that you got Terry McLaurin. I like you got Stephon Diggs. Like all that. The whole thing with Jaden Daniels and this number 5 thing, to me, it's just comical a little bit. I don't know if you guys seen the social media stuff.
Yes. Okay.
They do it out there. I love that Lane Kiffin put everybody on LSU on the practice the next day, all wearing number 5. All of them. You had a 5-star Hilton hotel in New York saying, "Hey, out of respect for Jaden Daniels, we're going to identify as a 4-star hotel now." There was this random white guy. I'm not going to say his name, but I saw him on TikTok. He said, "Out of respect for Jaden Daniels, I'm now going to identify my dick size as 4 inches instead of 5. Thanks for the okay on that, Jaden." Like people are just having so much fun. The Cubs beat the White Sox 4-3. The Cubs, a baseball team, and out of respect for Jaden Daniels, we decided to win by scoring 4 runs. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And not to mention, LSU yesterday gave that kid, the quarterback from LSU. You know what they did? You know how the quarterbacks always wear different colored jerseys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at LSU, they wear gold jerseys. The quarterbacks wear gold jerseys. Can't touch the gold jersey. They put that kid in a gold number 5 jersey yesterday. Cornerback. Put him in a gold number 5 jersey. Like, LSU is flaming the shit out of you. Like, I don't know how they thought that was going to read. But somebody mismanaged shit out of that. But the defense, I think the defense will be fine because I think that they got a hell of a defensive minded head coach. I had him at 9, but without Tunsil, I would take probably 3 wins away if I could, but I can't because I'm locked in at 9. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna be eating crow later on in the year, but I would just like everybody to remember I did this before Tunsil got hurt. Before he got
we're erasing this segment. We're gonna erase this segment.
All right.
All right. So far, June has given us our lowest win total out of all these teams with 4. But when we move on to this next team,
Just wait till he talks about the
think,
Giants.
I think we may go even lower in this next team.
I think he's gonna go lower with the Giants. I think he is.
So let's move on to New York, the basement of the NFC East. Grant, what have you got the Giants doing?
Giants are, again, an interesting one. Obviously, when you get John Harbaugh coming in, it's going to be changing things up. I think the culture is going to start to change with what they have there. You know, the NFL, you don't get a super long leash as a coach, but I don't feel like they make a move and bring in someone like John Harbaugh to give him 1 or 2 years. They're going to give him a few to kind of really build and get his ways into the franchise and, you know, kind of really sink in with it. So I don't expect them to make any sort of huge jump, but I'm maybe a little more optimistic than the complete basement. Jackson Dart is an exciting player. I think he, you know, for a quarterback, I don't know how long his shelf life is. He seems to put his body in a lot of danger with the way he plays. But what I can see happening is John Harbaugh coming in and trying to really slow the game down, muck out and grind games. And when you have a young, dynamic quarterback that can maybe make some plays towards the end of a game, I think you can squeak out some wins. So I don't anticipate them being a, you know, high flying offense and, you know, like the Cowboys, you know, can score 40 points in a game and still manage to lose somehow. Like, I don't see that happening. But I can see the Giants being in a lot of low scoring muck and grind games that John Harbaugh knows how to play. And if you've got someone like Jackson Dart that can be dynamic and make plays, I think you can get a couple wins like that. We'll see how Scattaboo comes back from that kind of gruesome injury. As far as their defense, they, you know, lost the kind of right up the middle of their defense. Dexter Lawrence is gone. I think he's with the Bengals now, I believe. That's a big loss for them. So all of those things considered, I don't think they're going to be bad. But I'd probably put them in that, like, I'm going to give them more than Washington. I'm going to go 7 wins. I'm going to say 7-10 for the Giants. I think they'll win some close games. They'll lose some close games. And John Harbaugh will really start instilling his brand of football into that franchise this year. Keep them in it and give them chances to win.
There has been a lot of Dallas slander in tonight's show, and I'm not mad at it, but just wanted to throw that out there that you know, let's do as you please. All right, let's move on to G Money.
Yeah, 7-10, and I think you look at Jackson Dart. Sometimes rookie quarterbacks look really good in their first year because nobody knows what you're getting, and defenses really don't quite know what they're, you know, how to defend them. We'll see in year 2 if Jackson Dart can be like he was in year 1, and if he can raise his game, because otherwise they'll be looking for a quarterback. And Scattaboo, what the fuck, man? You were doing backflips fucking 2 weeks ago. Well, actually, right before training camp. The fuck, dude? Are you retarded? Are you seriously retarded? Because, you know, you are not gonna make the type of money you're making right now out bagging someone's fucking groceries. Because that's how that's gonna play out. Just there we go. 7-10.
All right, 7-10 from G Money. Folks, I've got this team being bad. In fact, I've got them being so bad that I think we're looking at the first pick in the draft next year. I've got them winning 2 games this year.
Woo!
Jalen, can I ask you something before you continue with your rationale?
Go ahead.
Do you think that's going to be intent intentional or by design to a certain extent. Like bring in a new coach, go, hey, we're just gonna tank this year and see what we can build with as a first pick. Do you think that plays into it? And I won't interrupt again.
You're good. I do think that right now they're probably toying with the idea, and I think by week 4 they're gonna fully lean into it and be like, okay, we've seen enough. We know we've got here, which is nothing. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and just come on, because I literally I have them not winning a single game until week 10 when they host the Commanders. So after the first month of the season, I think they're gonna kind of, if it looks as bad from the outside looking in, I'm gonna assume within the organization they're really, the house is on fire at that point. So yeah, Jackson Dart, I really don't like Jackson Dart. Him taking that hit last weekend in that preseason game was just idiotic. His response afterwards was idiotic. Scadaboo's fun.
Why the hell they bring him back in the game?
Yeah, exactly. Scadaboo's fun, but he just doesn't seem like someone who's going to be able to have a long, solid career. It seems like a quick roller coaster ride. Yeah, and their defense is terrible. Terrible. They brought OBJ back as like a sideshow on offense. I don't know, man. John Harbaugh, I think he's in for a whirlwind, and he's going to be looking back over at the DMV going, damn, what else? What I had? What have I done? So, yeah, I 2-15. Giants, good luck. But you made this bed, so have fun. June.
My man. So I got the Giants at 3-14.
All right.
I'm just wondering. I just don't see the Titans come, and I'm pretty much like you, but I don't see the Titans coming in and actually winning that game early in the season. After the third week, because they're going to go against the Cowboys and they're going to go against the Rams, and yeah, I think they're just going to get that win against the Titans because the Titans are not ready yet. But I put down 3 big question marks, 3 things. New system, which Jackson Dart's going to have to learn. A quarterback question mark on him. A lack of running game for this team. And the O-line problems. The Giants have not fixed their O-line problems. Mm-hmm. They've gotten younger, and they've moved a lot of guys around. But if you go look at the Giants blogs right now from all the beat writers, that's all they talk about. The offensive line is still the same when Danny Dimes first got there. It's still, it hasn't changed. They've been shuffling around offensive lines. They never have a season where the offensive line is the same and the guys start all so they still have that question mark, and it's been a question mark for a long time. And they just, Harbaugh will probably come in and try to change a little bit, but they still haven't got the offensive line correct with this team. And Jalen, that hit was so unnecessary for him to take. And then why are you leaving him out there after that hit? You put him on the sideline. That's a good time to pull him out the damn game. That is not a time to leave that man in the game. We saw what happened last year. The coach got fired because of what he did. When he made that man come out that tent, who obviously had a concussion. This kid is susceptible to concussions. Because once you have one concussion, the second one is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So,
I was just going to say, when he gets hit and he is laying on the ground, he's always down there for a while. I'm sure it obviously it fucking hurts, but it's like, man, you got to get up because it either you are concussed or something. Like, it looks really bad. Like, all of your hits look terrible. Like, I hope that they taught him slide something, get rid of the ball, something, because what he's currently doing is not it.
Yeah, because week 1, you got Christian Parker who played this guy twice last year. as the defensive passing game coordinator. So he knows what he wants to do. He knows what Jackson Dart wants to do. So he's going to be scheming around that. But yeah, at 3-14 for this team, and you're right, Jay. They're probably going to be picking either 1, 2, or 3 this season because it's just not. Harbaugh's going to have to. He's going to have to strip this down to the bare minimum to build this all the way back up, because you got Malik Neighbors, but then you bring in OBJ for what reason? What are you doing there in that situation?
And butts and seats. That's it.
That's it.
trying.
So, but I think this is a rebuild year. It's a strong rebuild year for them. And I think John Harbaugh, he's going to totally assess this team. That's this season. He's going to take it, totally assess it, and then he's going to come back later to try to figure out what they need to do. Because he could say, I don't want Jackson Dart as my quarterback. I want somebody else, And then our family's going to have to, they're going to have to take a look at it and say, okay, we'll have to take a look at this, So, but yeah, 3-14 for this team.
All right, Malin.
Oh shit!
I do not understand the Jackson Dart hate. I really don't. No, he threw for what? 2,200 yards, 65% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Right? He's 6'2", 223 pounds. I want to know who he had a better rookie season than? I'll give you 2 people. Lamar Jackson, back in 2018, had a better rookie season than him. I think he had 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, played in 15 games, started 7, threw for 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So he had it was twice as many touchdowns as interceptions, but not great. Josh Allen threw for, I think, 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 55% completion percentage. Pretty terrible his rookie year. He's 6'5", 237. Lamar Jackson, 6'2", 203. Jackson Dart is 6'2", 223. Why do we think he can't take hits? Has Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen not made a career out of taking hits? Yes, they have. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could be a little better, a little smarter. But hey, you can hate the comparison all you want, but that's just the numbers. Like, he's bigger than Lamar Jackson, but no one cares about the hits Lamar Jackson took. And he became a better quarterback. Right? And who was Lamar Jackson's coach? Wait, who was it? Wait a minute. Oh, was that John Harbaugh? Was that coach?
I don't
Shit,
ever
you're right.
remember Lamar being concussed or being a physical runner.
Well, yeah, Lamar Jackson is a physical runner, and he did take a lot of hits. The only problem is that I think that I think what Jackson Dart has now is, I think that when he takes a hit, I think they look at it differently because everyone talks about it differently than when these other quarterbacks have taken hits. I've seen Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson take much harder hits, and they never go to a 10. So I think there's just a narrative there, and I think NFL looks at it. I got the Giants going 8-9. Malik Neighbors is going to come back. He's one of the top wide receivers in the NFL when he's healthy. A lot of people sleeping on him. I'm not putting any fact to the OBJ being back with the Giants. I don't even think he's going to make the roster week 1. I do like the Najee Harris sign with the Giants. He's on a 1-year prove-it deal, coming back from that Achilles. He had a great camp with the Chargers last year before he got hurt early on. I just think that the talent on the Giants defense is better than the talent on the Ravens defense. I think that John Harbaugh is going to have an effect on that defense. And a lot of people forget, hey, were the Broncos one broken ankle away from possibly going to a Super Bowl? Yeah, the Giants went toe to toe with Denver last year with pretty much the same roster, but that defense was horrid. I think John Harbaugh is going to have a little bit to say about that defense. I don't think that the head coaching staff, I don't think the coaching staff was very good last year. I think John Harbaugh, like a Mike Tomlin, is worth a few wins. And if they won 4 or 5 games last year, I'm going to give them a few more. Hey, if Jackson Dart does get hurt, who doesn't want Jameis Winston starting football games? I want to see it. I think America wants to see it.
That's true.
I've said a million times that Jameis Winston should just be an NFL free agent quarterback that they get to plug into whatever team needs a quarterback that week. Why? Because he's made for TV, baby. It's amazing. Put him in anywhere. Like, hey, 1 week he can play for the Bengals when Burrow goes down. He can play for the Giants when Dart goes down. It'd be beautiful. But I got him winning 8 games. I believe that much in Jackson Dart taking a second-year jump. And John Harbaugh being that much a difference maker. And before we talk about second-year jumps, like Caleb Williams does not look great his first year. Okay, he was on a back coaching staff, but pretty much had the same roster. Get a good head coach, you win some ball games. Like we play so much into people's first and second years on how that's going to be, like how they're going to be a quarterback. I mean, Jaden Daniels was great 1 year, and now we're like, well, now Jaden Daniels, like this third year, he's playing for his job. Like we put so much emphasis on from 1 year to the next. Let the kid grow a little bit. I think he's got a lot of talent. I like his moxie. He's built like Lamar Jackson. He's got the mind of a Josh Allen. Let's see if he can keep his head on straight. But I mean, we praise all these other guys for taking hard hits, but we give him a lot of shit for doing it when he's built just like the rest of them. I just think there's just a narrative out there with him where they're like, oh, he took a hard hit, put him in the tent. Like if Lamar Jackson had to go to the tent every time he had, a hard hit, he'd have like a placard on the tent. Like he'd always be living in there. So I don't know. I got him winning 8 games.
But see, you're talking about Jackson Dart and Lamar Jackson and all those guys taking hits. If you watch the stuff he did last year, sometimes he was initiating some of those hits that was unnecessary. The one time when he did get taken to the tent is because of what he did.
Go look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen initiates hits today. Lamar Jackson was initiating hits as a rookie. The only difference is that Jackson Dart had a 15-5 interception ratio, and Josh Allen was 10-12, and Lamar Jackson was 6-3. And he was like 10 points higher on completion percentage.
But the question is, you're looking at those numbers, right? But where are those numbers coming? Are they coming early in the game, or are they coming late in the game when they're just trying to catch up to the team that they're behind to? Because that makes a difference. Is it quality numbers or is it empty numbers? Those are empty numbers that you're talking about.
Buffalo was a terrible team. In Josh Allen's first year, he had every opportunity to get garbage numbers, just like you're saying that Jackson Dart did. Yeah. Second, Lamar Jackson, that team was around 500 in his rookie year. He had just as many opportunities. I'm just saying, rookie for rookie, he had a better rookie year than 2 people that have 3 MVPs alongside him. And we're acting like he's a chump. Like, give him a second year. Let him see what he could do.
I don't think nobody called him a chump. I think we're saying that he's initiating stuff
if you think that him as a second-year quarterback can only win 2 to 4 games, and you're calling him a chump.
I think the team is only going to win 2 to 4 games. If you think
him as a second-year quarterback can only win 2 to 4 games, he's a chump.
I mean, I'm not going to say that.
I'm not going to say that, yeah. Because didn't Peyton Manning only win a couple of games? He won 3 games his first year.
He won 3 games his first year.
What did he win in
You
second
think
year?
he won like
6?
8 or 9 games the second year?
Yeah, so it's a progression, but
Yeah, the second year.
yeah, but
He
I don't
won
see.
games the second year.
Yeah, but they didn't change coaches after his second year too.
But don't you think that John Harbaugh is an upgrade from Brian Daboll as a head coach?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
But we don't know about the rest of the coaching staff. Is the rest
And
of the coaching
head
staff
coaching
upgrade?
matters, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
he's also a defensive minded coach. He's not an offensive minded coach. The team is going to be defensive focused. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's about Jackson Dart winning 2 to 4 games. I think it's about the team. That's what we're saying. The team is only going to win 2 to 4 games because I think that John Harbaugh is going to need to do an evaluation of this team that was not good last year. This team was not good last year at all, like at all.
When
They didn't do anything well.
Yeah.
They didn't win. They didn't do anything well last year at all. Like there was nothing they did great last year. So my saying is this: now you bring in a new coaching staff with a second-year quarterback. There's going to be the team as a whole is probably not going to be that great again. So that's what we're saying. No hate on Jackson Dart. I still think he needs to slide. I think he needs to go out of bounds. Because what was that one game where he didn't go out of bounds? And we all talked about it on the show that he should have went out of bounds. He would have never got hurt.
I think that was the Patriots game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
When they got blown up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there's also no one else to talk about on the team. So it's like Jackson Dart's just an easy name to say, hey, let's talk about this guy in relation to
Do you
their
remember
record. I
when
don't
you
think
said
there's anyone
that
else
the
to know.
Giants didn't do anything at all? Did you forget about when they beat your Cowboys in the weekend?
You mean the last game of the season that didn't count when the Cowboys took everybody? They took everybody out in the second half.
They whooped your ass, didn't they?
Oh God!
34-17, didn't they?
Oh Jesus Christ! You stretch. Hey, can you stretch that? Can you stretch them extra small shorts even more?
Ass whooping.
All right.
Oh,
It is something.
No,
Need to
it's
go
not.
to a break.
Beat them boys, didn't they?
I mean, I'm
God.
surprised that we'd spent the longest discussed team was the Giants out of all teams. It's crazy. We're gonna go to a break, so give us about 10 minutes. When we come back, we've got news to get into, and then what's up with that. So, see y'all in 10 minutes. Toronto was able to make this close in the first half, sort of. As you can see, they were only down by 2 here. But Dallas's kind of scheme, which was not groundbreaking, but it was just to force somebody other than Marina Mabry to beat them. But that was fine. Like, clearly the Wings were cool with her having 23 and not going off, over 30 points, something crazy, because no one else on Toronto did anything besides use Geitzer. Shout out to her. She put up 18 points. Listen, Paige was not having a good first half scoring wise, but she was still finding other ways to impact the game. I think everybody knew she is going to heat up. So the fact that Dallas already had the lead going into halftime without Paige scoring was trouble for them. Alana Smith coming over with a block there. What a play by her. She had a fantastic game. A 13-point, 11-board double-double. She had the highest plus-minus of any player yesterday at plus 20. Circus shot. Even though Marina had 23 points to finish the game and, hey, got them within 6 points with 6 minutes left, she was a minus 18 on the game. Marina just cooking them. Kumbawale, she finished with 21 points. Big shout out to her because she did take a lot of the scoring responsibility in the first half of the game when Paige wasn't scoring. And a nice and one. She did really help put the game away in the clutch here. Great steal by Paige. Buckets finished the game with 22 points, 3 boards, 8 dimes, 3 steals, and just 1 turnover. Very much needed win for Dallas because they were on a 3-game losing streak coming into this. They came home and were able to get a dub against a bad team in Toronto, but a dub nonetheless. This was with no AZ, no Jess Shepard, much needed win for the Wings. Millions of Americans have grown up with the dream of wanting to play in the NFL. If you played football as a kid, I'm sure this especially rang true for you. Somewhere along the timeline of you playing football, someone probably informed you that the likelihood of you playing in the NFL was very, very low, almost a 0% chance. It's a harsh reality that most kids are met with once they have to start looking ahead to life after high school. Crazy enough though, the NFL has seen several pairs of brothers get to play during the same window of time. For this story, we're going to look at Stephon and Trayvon. So how did two of the most electrifying anomalies go from superstars to trying to make their way back into the league?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Oh, what a game we had between Atlanta and Indiana yesterday. Man, Atlanta's got to be kicking themselves today. Caitlin Clark from way outside. Listen, I'll cover Atlanta here because in the third quarter, they really started to pull ahead and they started to build up a double-digit lead. For Indiana's sake, thank God that Caitlin Clark was keeping them in the game and never let it get out of hand, because in the third quarter alone, she was going off. Alicia Gray finished this game with 32 points, 7 boards, 5 dimes. Angel Reese gave him 15 points, 14 boards. Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta. Alicia Gray was cooking them. That should never happen. This is, I mean, you need to go sit on the bench immediately. Tina Pow, come on. You coming to the bench. But here comes Kelsey Mitchell on the break. She's going to step outside for a 3. No problem, man. Kelsey Mitchell loses her shoe here. Fever is scrambling to get a timeout. And this whole possession was just botched. Like the Dream defended it very well. I was like, all right, they're going to win this game. They've got this. They've held Indiana to under 100. And Reese. Oh, Angel. Hey, Caitlin Clark, no tea, no shade. She said, couldn't be me. Once this game went in overtime, I knew the Dream were not winning this one. Because of how they lost this game, or because of how regulation ended, I said, man, the Fever are winning this, undoubtedly. What a pass to find Timpson, who was just an absolute star. She had a plus 10 on the night. She had 20 points, 7 boards. She was balling, man. And then K. Mitch here just puts the icing on the cake to get her 20 points, because she almost finished at 18. She would have been below a 20-point total for the first time in like 19 games. Listen, Naz Hillman, she had a minus 23 on the night. She needs to be fired into the face of the sun after that performance that she put on. Hey, shout out to Caitlin Clark for keeping them in the game, even though she had 5 turnovers. I mean, she almost had a double-double, 26 points, 9 assists. Kept them in the game. Michaela Timpson was unbelievable with the defense. Add the Fever to the list of teams that the Dream do not want to see in the playoffs. This was the Fever's first time playing in Toronto, and let me tell you, they gave Toronto a show because the terrible tempo. Oh, Lexi Hull appearance. This first quarter, I thought that Indiana was going to literally run the tempo off the floor, off their own court. Kelsey Mitchell in this first quarter was outscoring Toronto by herself. Harris pushing the ball. He said, Sophie, you're in range. They gave you way too much space. Fire away. Oh. Man. Look at this pass by Cece on the break. Woo. Threading a needle. The hesitation by Cece there to get the and one. Like, what are you doing? Why the hell are you leaving Caitlin Clark wide open? And their transition defense is buns. I'm like, do y'all do anything well? Caitlin Clark puts in her 20th point with that one. So this marked the 16th straight game where Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark have both put up over 20 points, and it sets the new WNBA record for most amount of games with a duo scoring of 20 points in consecutive games. A record that has not been broken since 2008. So this was the Fever's 5th win in a row. They haven't lost since that overtime loss they had against Vegas 2 weeks ago. It seemed like Toronto was like actually about to do something here. Nothing happened here. I know it was a whole lot of hot air for no reason. They improved to 24-12, and the temp. All right, folks, we are back from the break. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves in that 10 minutes. Hope you used the bathroom, grabbed a snack, a drink, whatever you may have been doing, as long as you came back here after the 10 minutes. We are going to take a cheers to the second half of the show. In my TSA approved, because this is 1.5 ounce shot glass.
50 milliliters, my friend. This is what 50 milliliters looks like. For those of you that don't know the
I got you all beat.
decimals.
Hey, hold on real quick, Joe.
Malin, I was giving you a hard time. That's because you was talking about my Cowboys.
I would just like to point out the TSA website right now.
Oh my God!
Transportation Security Administration allows many alcohol bottles, typically 1.7 to 50 milliliters, to airport security in your carry-on bag, provided they fit comfortably in a single quart-sized clear plastic zip-top bag. Yes, you can fit 10 to 11 of them inside that quart-sized Ziploc bag, and that's what I do every goddamn time.
Malin, I was giving you a hard time, so you was fucking with my Cowboys. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, fucking Cowboys. I hope that Prescott.
I was trying to scare the shit out you.
Yeah, you scared me. I can fly forever.
I just always assumed that you couldn't. I was also going to say
they changed the rules. So what happened was
never seen someone get stopped in security
Yeah.
for that. I'm like, that would have happened at least once. I've never
Yeah.
seen someone get stopped
So
for that.
the reason why it started off as illegal because the airlines complained that people was sneaking, they was putting it on the plane and going up in their bags and drinking it. And then we said, we're here for bombs. We
And
said we're here
guns.
for bombs.
Well, I mean,
just
I
like
do that too.
yeah,
I'll
you know.
order me like a double of something, and I'll be like, I'm gonna still be able to. I do that too.
Yeah.
If you fly first class, you don't have to worry about that.
There you go.
It's true, because you just get free drinks.
Maybe
Yeah.
Southwest gives you coupons though.
Do they? Well, I haven't flown Southwest in like years.
They still
All right,
get
let's
drink
go.
coupons.
Let's go. Level.
Alrighty, yeah.
Let's roll.
We went on a tangent.
Plane in 5 hours.
Let's
Oh.
roll into the news because we had a Seattle Seahawk getting paid this past week. Spoon got a $132 million 4-year extension with the Seahawks, with 101 of those dollars, 101 million of those dollars guaranteed. What'd you guys think about Devin Witherspoon here getting paid? Hmm.
As it takes for that contract to be worked out for Gonzalez and him to sign it. No, we knew it was going to happen. I think what we're going to see, because the Seahawks have done this in the past with John Snyder, is that come like next season, you'll see some restructuring of contracts, not necessarily Spoons or JSNs, but other players' contracts getting redone because they're going to have to sign Byron Murphy, which they will do. And though Imanori probably is going to be the year after. So, we here in Seattle knew it was going to get done. Hell, Spoon knew it was going to get done. He wasn't even worried about it. It's like, it's going to get done. I'm here to play. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here for my boys. I'm here to play. So there wasn't a holdout. There wasn't like, well, they wouldn't tag him until next year anyway. So, it's like, nah, it was done. It's a lot of money. Hell yeah, it's a lot of money. 101 million guaranteed. Ooh, god damn. That's generational wealth, my friends. If you invest wisely, that's generational wealth right there. But
I
it's
like
done.
it.
And
I like that Spoon got signed first. Because whoever was going to get signed second, Gonzalez or Spoon, was going to get more money, even if it's just by $1 million. You know what I mean? As a fan, hey man, listen, Spoon, you got your money. So now Jalen, your Patriots are going to pay more money. So that 101 million guaranteed, look for that to be even more for your squad. So I love that for you. It's also like the first time in NFL history that 2 players drafted in the first round by the same team get extensions where they're the highest paid at their position at the same time. Now it's not going to last because Gonzalez is going to get a contract higher than his. But at the moment, JSN and Spoon are the highest paid at their position, both drafted by the Seahawks in the first round 2023. That's pretty crazy. I like it. I like the precedent that Seattle's setting. That if you ball out, they're going to pay you. Hall got his money. I think it was Mafe is the only one that we've drafted that kind of produced for us that had to go someplace else because the money's just not there to sign everybody that's been a starter since 2022 that we've drafted. But for the most part, if you play good, Seattle's going to pay you. So I like that. So good for him. That's a lot of money. Love it for him.
Let me
I'm glad that Gonzalez is going to hurt New England salary cap worse than Spoon is going to hurt ours.
so let me ask you guys a question. If they would have signed Kobe Bryant, would they have signed? Would they still give Spoon this deal if they signed Kobe Bryant?
It would have been a mistake to do so if they did.
Okay.
They probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But if you look at Pro Football Focus, if you look at the four major statistics that they grade cornerbacks on,
Mm-hmm.
Spoon was actually first and second graded by PFF
Okay.
on the four major statistics. Yeah, he's not getting a lot of interceptions. And you could also arguably say that he was the best player in that Super Bowl, disrupting everything in the secondary, the line of scrimmage, getting sacks. He is a game changer.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. If you made me choose between Kobe Bryant and Spoon, I'd choose Spoon all day long.
Okay. Okay.
I love Kobe Bryant too, and I'm sad that he's hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he got his payday. But I would have taken Spoon over Kobe.
Right.
Have you guys been keeping up with Hard Knocks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not watch last night's episode. Did not.
No, I didn't either.
I was going to watch that on the plane until I realized that HBO Max won't let you fucking download it.
What?
Assholes.
Nope. That's right.
Nope. They will not.
No, they won't.
So I'm going to be watching that at the airport tomorrow.
You got to buck up and buy the Wi-Fi. It won't work when you're on the plane.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
I was going to watch it on the plane. I was like, that's some bullshit, man.
Dumb.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's move to the next bit of news here. Najee Harris, speaking of someone else who got paid, he's got 1 year with the Giants. Does anybody know what the money is on this deal? Because when I was looking at it, I didn't see any dollar signs. So, but 1 year with the Giants for Najee Harris.
Interesting. He wasn't brought up at all in the conversation before when we were talking about the NFC East, right? So I don't know how much impact he'll really have, but obviously I think with Scadaboo and his injury, they needed someone else there to get some carries as well. I've seen some videos of Scadaboo as well where he it could just be the one video where he kind of almost like twisted his ankle or something while making or running a route, but I think they needed someone else in there for that. Najee Harris, he's 28, 29. He's probably had a good amount of carries over the years. He spent all of it with Pittsburgh, right? Has it all been with Pittsburgh leading up to this?
It was with
It was with
Seattle, the Chargers last year.
The Chargers.
1 year,
Oh, the
but
Chargers,
I think he
okay.
only played one game.
Yeah.
I think he got
Okay.
hurt week one. Yeah. Now
So,
I do know that his 1 year deal with the Chargers was for $5.5 million or $5.25 million for 1 year. A vet minimum is $1 million. They haven't released what the contract is,
No.
Jalen. I was looking at it earlier too. I would venture to say it's probably 1.5 to 2 million. He's probably just a little over the vet minimum, but the Giants don't have a whole lot of cap space to play with, I don't think. So he's going to be pretty close to the vet minimum on this. He's going to be playing for another contract. Like this year, anytime he's on the field, he's going to be playing to try to make more money someplace else.
And I think that hopefully he makes a team, but it looks like Harbaugh had a press conference about his recovery process. And they're taking it slow, trying to get him back into football shape. And so that's going to be main focus. So we don't know where he's going to end up at the beginning of the season, because he could end up on the PUP list to start the season too. So we don't know what he's going to be come this season for the Giants.
I did see a funny TikTok, though, that he was already hurt and in the concussion protocol because he got a headbutt from Cam Scadaboo.
Oh, Jesus.
I had to fact check it. It's not true, but it's still funny because it was real enough for me to have to fact check it. I was like, is that real? Like, did Scadaboo actually headbutt him and put him in a concussion protocol? But no.
All right. Let's get on to the last bit of news here in the NBA. So the NBA has found no evidence that the Clippers circumvented the salary cap for Kawhi Leonard in his sponsorship with Daktronics. It was there, yeah. Right.
Or like you pointed out earlier, I don't know. Like, first of all, I don't even believe that Helen Keller did everything she did. Like that's just egregious. Come on now. I'll die on that hill. But yeah, the NBA, like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't find anything. You know what this is? This is them having so much turmoil with the Lakers, where they're like, you see this rug over there? Let's just scoot the Clippers under this rug because we don't want any more turmoil right now. We got enough going on with the Lakers, and now you got Jenny Buss getting bumped out with the Lakers selling the rest of their shares, and you didn't know it was happening. Like, so the Lakers.
Well, now it's not being. But the Lakers aren't. Jeannie Buss said, "Oh no, we are not selling our shares. That is not happening."
Yeah, but then she
And
got
this is
outvoted 5-1, so it's sold.
It's gone.
It's a done deal.
The buses do not have anything to do with the Lakers anymore.
She tried to stop it, but she couldn't. So yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They just got so much turmoil with the old Lakers ownership and everything going on with them. They're like, listen, man, Ballmer, you got all them toilets, man. We're gonna let you slide on this one. Don't do no shit like this again. We got a lot of toilets.
I think it's a huge joke. Just a complete joke, because if they allow them to get away with this, Kawhi is like a top, I guess you could say top 15 player. So what would they do if this was SGA or Jokic or Luka, and it's something even worse? Like, if you're going to allow Kawhi Leonard to get away with this in the Clippers, if someone else of a higher caliber is able to do something similar, they're going to be like, oh, we're going to get off scot-free too, because you're damn sure not going to suspend one of your faces of the league. And it's to be like, we didn't find it. It's such a joke. Like, really.
To me, Jalen, the NBA might be one step above the NCAA as far as having a spine when it comes to you. I mean, they've done so much shady shit. We all remember when Chris Paul was about to go play for the Lakers, and the NBA was like, no, never mind. No, we're not going to do that. So we're going to sit. So you got to go to, like, the NBA's done some shady shit over the years. I mean, shit. Agent Zero with the Wizards got suspended for a whole year for having a gun on a plane. Kawhi Leonard's getting millions and millions of dollars in some kickback, and they're like, "Nah, that's fine. Don't worry about it." Adam Silver is just a spineless little prick.
Hey, it comes down to, we investigated ourselves and we found ourselves of no wrongdoing.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty much what it came down to. And this is the first time something like that's happened. I mean, if you all some of you may remember Minnesota, the Timberwolves with Joe Smith back in, I think it was, I want to say 99, where they did this. They did a similar type thing where they circumvented the cap, get him his money. They got fined, and I believe they lost like 5 first-round draft picks. Now they got a couple of those back later on, but I mean, obviously Steve Ballmer is probably, if not the richest, then probably one of the top 3 richest owners in the NBA.
Yeah.
So you hit him with like a $10 million fine. That's like hitting one of us with like, oh, you were speeding, I'm going to give you a $5 ticket. Okay, cool. And by the way, it's not going to go on your record. Oh, even better. Cool. Here's the $5.
That'd be rich to have all them toilets.
Yeah, you have to be. But the way you hurt him is you show that his team can't compete, and you take away their first round draft picks for the next 5 to 6 years. Like, okay, I see what you did. We know what you did, and how could they not? I mean, there were people, former employees in the higher up in the organization that said that that's what they did, but yet you couldn't find anything.
Right.
You can take away draft picks all you want, but can you really make the Clippers worse than what they are now?
Oh, sure you can. Sure you can. Oh yeah, you can. You can make
don't
them
take away the draft picks, they're still going to be just as bad as if they were if you took them away.
So Jalen, here's the question: is the trade to Toronto now going to go through? Because it was on hold because of all of this. So now does that trade go through, or is it a dead trade?
Well, they're still investigating Kawhi for individually getting kickbacks. So that's why you haven't heard anything.
They're spinning it like the intro. Like, did the team introduce him to Daktronics? Because that is also against policy. Like
the NBA put it all on the player, like the NCAA used to put it all on the player.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's what they're doing.
So the trade still is in limbo, but I would just want to know: can the Raptors now just be like, you know what? Never mind, we're good. We just don't even want to be involved.
They would be smart too. The Raptors would be smart to back out of this deal and say, you know what? Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
they're Canadian, so I won't do it.
That's right. They're nice.
I want them to do it.
They feel obligated now.
So. They do.
They'll trade him for some moose meat. Some syrup.
Yeah, there you go. Syrup. We'll give you syrup.
Yes. Syrup, yes.
All right. Let's get into the last topic of the week, which is what's up with that? This is where each one of us give a topic within the world of sports that has upset us to the degree that we would like to voice our opinion on this. This could be a wide array of things. So whoever would like to volunteer to go first, the WNBA has been on like a 3-week streak on this show.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I will not be talking about the WNBA again. Okay, I'm gonna go first. So this ties directly into parents managing sports kids. It goes into the whole, Jaden Daniels thing. If you want your mom or your dad to help you buy your first house when you make millions, you want them to show you how to get car insurance, because these kids don't know. They're coming out of college. They're going straight into the pros. They don't know these little nuances about life because everything has been handed to them. If you need your parents to help you do that, that's fine. But if your parent has never been a sports agent, a sports manager of any kind, why in the hell would you want them to manage you when you become a pro in the NFL? Because you're going to end up with a situation like Jaden Daniels. This should not be news, people. This should not be news. Why are you fighting with a college that you've been going for 2 years? What are you fighting about? He said, oh, I was old. They told me they was going to retire my jersey. They promised. Yeah, my mom promised me the G.I. Joe USS flag 40 years ago.
My mom did the same goddamn thing.
Guess what? I'm still waiting on that damn thing. Guess what? It's just a promise. You can't, and another thing, me and my wife was talking about this. You can't retire college numbers. You know why? Because they only have 99 numbers, or actually 101, because they do have 0 and double zero on their rosters. But they only have 101 numbers. And most of the time they have 90 kids on the damn team. You cannot do that. They can retire you as a player and say that this player wore number 5, but they cannot retire that number. And then you say, oh, it's not that they can't use my likeness. I hate to tell you this, buddy. They gave you a scholarship. They can use whatever the hell they want to at
And
an
they
LSU
paid him.
game.
They
And they
paid
paid
him.
And they
you.
paid him.
They can do whatever the hell they want to. So when you kids are out there, you want your parents to be part of something, have them get you car insurance, have them help you buy your first house, help them show you set up insurance and get this and get maids, how to maintain your lawn, how to maintain your pool, the stuff that parents need to show you how to do. But if your mom or dad was a secretary or a plumber, they don't know what the hell they do in sports management. You gotta stop this, man. And you parents out there managing their kids, you are destroying these kids. Vince Young is a perfect example. All of these players who have their families managing their money and their likeness and all this shit is destroying them. It's absolutely destroying them. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Especially in the sports world. It's getting worse. And we continue to see it. If my mom was a sports agent and she had all these different clients and they were making money, oh yeah, my mom's gonna be my agent. But if my mom was not an agent, and she damn sure ain't gonna be my damn manager. So that's my rant on this whole topic of parents managing their kids when it comes to sports, because it happens in every sport. NBA, we've seen, and we've all seen it. Every single sport there is, we've seen some kid that's been destroyed by their own parents. And I hope Jaden Daniels does not let this happen, and he gets this under control.
I'll be real quick, Jaden. I just want to piggyback it because it was my what's up with that too.
Oh, sorry.
These moms, man, like at some point, like let your men be men. Like let it go. First of all, like she got a lot of headlines when he was a rookie, saying her number was job was to keep women away from her son because she didn't want any distractions in his life. Bitch, you're the distraction. You became the distraction by doing what you're doing. Why? Because you're trying to monetize your son in every which way that you possibly can.
Goodness gracious.
And that's terrible. Parents that just can't let their kids grow up. That's my what's up with that. Jesus Christ, the amount of, like, you see it all the time on social media. These mother-in-laws, it act like they're more important than their son's wife. Is just insane to me. It's like when your son leaves and he becomes married and he's with somebody else, or he grows up to something, like you're always going to be the mom, but calm the fuck down. Like, Jesus Christ, you're not always the most important person in that person's life. And this woman, just, good God, did she create a firestorm that didn't need to happen?
Yep.
He's entering the third year of his NFL career, which a lot of people are classifying as make or break. In his third year because of last year. And she's out there like, LSU, man, in LSU don't give a shit.
No.
Not only did they put everybody on the practice field 2 days later in the number 5 jersey, then they put that kid in the gold quarterback jersey yesterday during practice. They don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, you won a Heisman, but I think we won 8 games. Like, calm down. You're not.
They won 9.
They won 9.
Okay, 1-9. I'm sorry. You're not on Joe Burrow status. Like, yes, you won a Heisman, but you didn't win the Natty too. And they haven't retired Burrow's number either. But I bet there's a lot of people that are not even like, man, I don't even want to wear number 9 because of the legacy and the mystique with Joe Burrow.
Right.
But if you got to give that kid number 5 to keep him from going to some place like Ohio State or something like that, then do it. It's in the best interest of the program. Shut up, Mom. I don't know. That's my take.
I can't imagine that he brought this up. Just from seeing him and hearing him, he seems like he would not give a damn.
No.
Like it very much seems like his mom noticed it and just raised hell. I don't know if you guys watched this most recent season of Quarterback on Netflix. He was one of the featured quarterbacks, and his mom was just as much of the show as he was. Like that was his co-star in the show. Was his mom?
Jesus Christ, man.
It was pretty telling. It was like, all right, I've got a pretty good idea of what the dynamic is like here. So I'd recommend going and watching it, but damn, yeah. Who wants to go next?
Okay. I will go next, but just a moment of clarification on June and Malin. June, yes, indeed, LSU has retired a jersey number. It was for Billy Cannon, who was their first Heisman winner. That number has been retired. And Malin, your mother is... shut your fucking mouth. Malin, your mother is important.
1960.
It was actually after 1960.
Well, he
anyway,
played in 1960.
he was their first Heisman winner, and they retired the number. And they retired the number like 20 years after he played. He won the Heisman in 1958. Anyway, your mother said she is your most important person, and you should not forget that. Or you may just find yourself one trip not coming back to Vegas.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so my what's up with that? Really simple, real easy. The fuck is up with NFL preseason fans talking about firing coaches, firing OCs and everything because our team sucks?
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking preseason.
Wow. Yeah.
It's everybody's putting in vanilla defenses, vanilla offenses. They're looking at situations of what, and on top of that, really very few teams are playing any of their starters. But people are up in arms, and on social media, it's insane. Oh, we need to fire the OC. The DC sucks. Can't fucking stop anyone. It's like, dude, chill. Just fucking chill. Wait till after game 1 of the regular season to start spewing all that crap on social media. Otherwise, it's preseason. I mean, unless you're like a seriously degenerate gambler and you're betting on these games and you're losing, I mean, just chill. 3 weeks from now, you can have your rant about firing your head coach, your OC, your DC. You know, your players are fucking shit. But right now, it's preseason. Some of these guys that played this last game, they're not going to be on a team.
No.
They're going to be looking for a job. They're actually going to look to try and go back to college and play ball there. Mm. So, you know, just chill. Just chill.
All right. Grant, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
Yeah, I got one. Now this is going to be a little hometown Philly talk a little bit, and I feel like it's under the radar, and I don't know how many people know, but at least in this area, it's quite annoying. The fact that Josh Harris is still the owner of the Sixers, and that somehow he put something in place where they were able to get Jaylen Brown and LeBron James in one off season here. There's like, I'm a Sixers fan and I want them to do well, but I so badly dislike Josh Harris as the owner of the Sixers and almost don't think he deserves whatever fortune came his way this off season to get these fucking guys here. Like, I want to be bitter, and I'd almost rather have the Sixers suck and not get them, so Josh Harris was not the owner. It's very close to that.
Hilarious.
It all started, I'll tell you what, this was, I think it was Embiid's like 3rd year in the NBA. He missed his complete first year, I think his complete 2nd year as well. And then his 3rd year, he played the first like third of the season, and he was listed as day-to-day for like 4 months.
Right.
Season tickets went on sale, and they sold out for the next year. And the next day, they said he was out for the rest of the season. And I was like, this guy is a fucking snake. And it's just been shady stuff ever since. He owns the New Jersey Devils. He owns the Washington Commanders. And if you're from Philly, there's just kind of understanding, like, if you own the sports teams, like, you should care, right? And owning the Commanders, who's in division with the Eagles, and the Devils, who are in division with the Flyers, like it's just such a misalignment. It pisses me off beyond belief that this guy has somehow hired a good GM staff, whatever combination of GMs they have currently, and whatever titles that they have that is not GM, and they got Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. It's beyond me. And I was hoping he'd be forced to sell, and I don't think he's gonna be. So that's my little rant about that and what is pissing me off in the sports world.
That's a good one. Because I know a lot of Philadelphia people. They do not like Josh Harris at all.
No.
At all.
No.
So
he was the one. I'm pretty sure, like after LeBron signed there, where he was like quoted as being like, "Wow, we got LeBron. Like, how did that happen?" Like it was almost like not because of anything
He's
you did.
checked out. He doesn't care.
Right. My what's up with that is I was gonna pick on my girl Angel Reese, but I can't do that. We've had too much WWE in this show. We got to give it a break. But I decided to go with what is now ancient history in internet years because this is 2 weeks old. But when the Bills unveiled their new stadium 2 weeks, or not unveiled it, but like had it open for some kind of a soft launch that they did. And all these people who like went out of their way to show how bad some of the sight lines are at this stadium. And people are sitting behind big cement columns and they've got railings in the way. And at first it's like, oh man, that's terrible. Like, I can't believe that they built this whole new stadium and there's so many bad seats. When you start looking at a lot of the photos though, it's like, you know, if you take photos like that and you're like leaning out of your way, it's like no one's actually watching the game like that. And also, pretty much every stadium around the country is gonna have some seats where they're not ideal. Just naturally, that's going to happen. So it's just another one of these things where people will like find the smallest thing to complain about and they blow it up to this huge thing. And then social media gets onto it, and then the snowball just keeps going, and people are like, "Look at this new thing that's terrible," and they fucked this whole thing up. It's like they haven't played a single game there yet. I would imagine that 95% of the seats there are probably fine, and you can see everything. Yes, you're gonna have those few outliers, but it's just annoying when people take stuff like this and blow it out of proportion because you purposely like leaned over this much in your seat. Like, look at how bad the side is. I'm like, well, are you sitting like that the whole game to watch? No. If you sit like a normal human being, you can probably see just fine. So, Bill Stadium, we'll see what happens with the. They've got like a canopy over the inside to keep people out of the elements. But the team is supposed to still be exposed to the weather, so it's gonna be interesting to see if the technology there works as it should. That's what I'm most interested in, not the damn sight lines. But yeah, it should be very interesting with their new whatever it's called, Highmark Stadium.
Well, the other thing I thought that was funny with that, Jalen, is that like they're comparing like, oh, you don't have scoreboards like Jerry's World or SoFi and like all this stuff. And I'm like, well, first of all, like Buffalo is a very different place.
Yes.
In LA or Dallas in Jerry Jones. Okay. Second of all, they got that Highmark Stadium built for $2.2 million. It cost $5.5 billion to build SoFi when they opened it up. It would probably be over $6 billion at this point. Like they got it built half the cost. Buffalo's just, they're different people. It's a different team, different market, different area of the country. Like, and you're not putting a dome on. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, why are you building a stadium without a dome?" I'm like, I don't know, because maybe football can be played outside too. Like, I don't give a shit. So yeah, people just need to calm down, man. Like, it's it's better than what they had.
Right.
Yes.
It cost half of what SoFi cost. So yeah, it doesn't need a wraparound screen. I don't.
It leads me to believe that the people that were first checking this out were probably just people that wanted to. I want to be the first person to have photos and videos of this,
Yeah.
and whatever is going to make this the most viral clip, I'm going to just post that. I'm sure once the normal Bills fans get into their season ticket holders and the normal folks, I'm sure they'll like it. I mean, it is Buffalo. Like, let's be for real. But yeah, that's it. So, with all that being said, anything else you guys want to mention before we get up out of here?
We will be in
Vegas in
about
12 and a half hours.
well, less than that.
There's too much
No, not really, because
right now.
you have to do subtraction.
I gotta do subtraction. So maybe 12
Yeah.
hours. I know
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah.
3 hours of sleep out of that 12 hours.
Maybe an hour and a half.
I'm going to bed right after this.
No, you're not.
Well,
Ah.
Grant, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We definitely want to have you back on once the season actually begins. Should be good to see how the NFC East is progressing after the first couple of months or so. So yeah, we'll have to have you back on. Folks at home, if you want to follow June's podcast, This Is Our Year, is linked down in the description below. It's getting closer and closer to their year, folks. A couple more weeks. So, with all that being said, guys, we will talk to you all soon. And have a good week. Peace out.
Peace.
All right, we're gone.